Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a fun one for you because I'm going to be talking about commanders that have super simple builds that will absolutely dominate your playgroup. Of course, there's a card list link in the description below for any of the cards on this episode. Check them out, pick them up, and of course, let's jump into it. First up, my goodness, Jasmine, Boreal the 7 is such an underrated commander that will absolutely dominate with a super simple build. A 2/4 human druid for 3 mana in Selesnya. Tap for 2 colors, Selesnya colors, only to cast creature spells and no abilities. Very specific, but here's the other thing. Creatures you control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. Your creatures are near unblockable, if not unblockable, in many circumstances. The vast majority of creatures out there that players are using, well, are not vanilla. Basically, no one uses vanilla creatures. The only creatures that they can actually block you with potentially are creature tokens that they create potentially, and they might not have those, and if they don't, again, your entire team is literally unblockable. And your team's going to be absolutely massive. I mean, cards like Quake Strider Ceratops are insane. A 12/8 dinosaur for 6 mana. Literally 12 power for just 6 mana. I mean, you can get this out very consistently at the latest on turn 4 with this commander because your commander is a mana dork. You get this out and all of a sudden you have an unblockable, basically 12 power creature. And of course, I mean, you got a lot of other amazing creatures out there, a lot of other great vanilla creatures that have a ton of power that essentially are now unblockable. But of course, you can give even more power with something like Marrow-Gnawer Petroglyphs, a great anthem. 4 mana, creatures with no abilities get +2/+2, a great way to pump your entire team by a lot. And then also, of course, other ones, other anthems that don't actually grant any abilities. Make sure you do that. Do not give your things trample. Do not do that or it takes out the whole thing. Unnatural Growth, though, an amazing one. Enchantment for 5 mana in green. Beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature controlled till end of turn. Again, you're already at an unfair advantage when it comes to the amount of power you can get out on the table very, very quickly. But now you're at an advantage of, well, double that, basically. You are an absolutely massive monstrosity that, well, cannot be stopped. And, of course, your entire team is, again, near unblockable. They commander that can help get them out quicker and quicker and quicker. It is such a fun build. Such a super simple, straightforward build. Again, literally, find the best vanilla creatures, put them in a deck, put some other potential anthems in there that literally don't give any abilities, make sure you don't do that. But of course, a lot of ways to take advantage of power, a lot of ways to dominate your opponents. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Speaking of power, though, Yargle and Multani, my gosh, such a super simple, super amazing build. An 18/6, that's right, 18/6 Frog Spirit Elemental for 6 mana in Golgari. Literally, again, Commander is a format where there's a couple different ways to win, and one of the ways to win is, 21 Commander damage, and you are just 3 off of that. Just 3, literally 3 off of that from just the starting point, from the get-go, with this amazingly, really weird Frog Spirit thingy. Anyways, again, a vanilla creature itself. Very simple, very effective. All you need to do is literally hit a player for 21 and they lose. Indomitable Might is such a fun card with this. Again, any kind of pump effects are going to be great with this commander, obviously, but some better than others. Aura for 4 mana, flash it out, enchant creature, +3/+3 the enchant creature. Oh, and by the way, the enchant creature's controller may have an assigned combat damage as though it weren't blocked. This literally takes your commander to 21 power. That is, even if they block it, it doesn't matter. You can go, oh, yeah, it's like you didn't block it, like an Ivy Elemental type thing. So all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, sure, power comes through, whatever the damage comes through wasn't blocked, and yeah, you take 21, and you lose. You just lose. Of course, Rogue's Passage, other ways to get it through. Very simple, very effective. It's just a land you include in the deck. Pay 4, tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Lots of other ways to make your commander unblockable or evasive or, again, trample the damage through. I mean, even your protection spells can help you out with your win condition as well. Tyvar Sand. X and a green. Target creature control gets +X/+X, gains Hex for indestructible until end of turn. Again, a great way to protect your commander, but of course also a great way to go, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? Well, we are going to be, I don't know, just pumping this when I need to essentially get through. Again, if you got other ways to grant it trample, your opponent might think that they're safe, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, a little extra power, and you are gone. Again, a super simple, super straightforward commander that says, hey, can you count to 21? I mean, can you count to basically 3 is all you need, really. You're going to be taking opponents out left, right, and center, being able to just dominate them with this super simple, super straightforward, absolutely amazing commander. Arcades the Strategist is a super simple and super fun and super awesome build. A 3/5 Elder Dragon with Flying and Vigilance for 4 mana in Bant. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under control, you draw a card. Oh, and by the way, each creature controlled Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, can attack as though it doesn't have Defender. Basically, walls. You go and get all those creatures that have an insanely low cost and insanely high toughness, and then all of a sudden you dominate the table with excessive amounts of power, which is out very, very quickly. On top of this being an amazing card draw engine for you. I mean, a card like Wall of Denial is insanely good. 0/8 Wall for 3 mana. Again, Defender. Doesn't matter. Basically doesn't have Defender for this commander. It's got Flying and Shroud. It is something that is basically untouchable. It's essentially an 8/8 flying creature that has Shroud for just 3 mana. That's basically what this commander is. Oh, and by the way, when you play it, you draw a card. You also have Ramp that can help you out, which are also Defenders. A 0/4 for 2 mana that also can tap for green for each creature you control with Defender, which is going to be an insane amount. So obviously you can do a lot of things with that. Of course, Tower Defense, any kind of like a spec like this, which is usually defensive, right? Instant for 2 mana in green. Creature control +0/+5 and gain reach all turn. Typically a defensive spell. Now it is a massive pump effect, essentially. Basically, just picture this as +5/+5 to your team for just 2 mana at instant speed. That is unheard of. Of course, with this commander, again, the ETB, Defender's ETB, you draw a card. You can also take advantage of any kind of blink effects, especially mass blink effects like Eerie Interlude style. There's a lot of very super simple things you can do with this. Basically, go grab the best defenders out there, chuck them into a deck with this, and then utilize some toughness pumps and then also some protection spells like blink effects, and then there you go. You got your build. You got your amazingly super simple, super straightforward, dominant wall build, which is so much fun. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Edric, Spymaster of Trest, is such a cool commander, such a super simple, super low to the ground, super fun commander that is so quick and so great. A 2/2 Elf Rogue for 3 mana in Simic. When a creature deals combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may draw a card. So yeah, first of all, this one somewhat protects you because it's like, okay, opponents, you are incentivized to attack each other. If you do, you can draw some cards. Of course, I'm going to take the most advantage of those cards, though. I will use cards like Slitherblade, which are low to the ground, just evasive, just straight up cannot be blocked. A 1 mana creature that you get out on turn 1, you're like, okay, cool. Next turn, maybe get out 2 more evasive creatures, and all of a sudden you get your commander out on turn 3, and you're like, okay, swing, draw 3 cards. Yeah, unblockability can be great. Of course, other evasive creatures like Siren Stormtamer, which have some utility, can be great as well. A 1/1 Siren Pirate Wizard with flying for a single blue mana, pay a blue, sacrifice it. Counter target spell ability that targets you, a creature you control. Yeah, a way to essentially go, hey, you know what? No, you're not touching my commander or another one of my important creatures. And of course, plenty of great pump effects. I mean, Scale Up is an insane one. Until I've turned, our creature control becomes a green worm with base power to 6/4. Oh, and you can overload it so it affects your entire team. So yeah, being able to go, okay, I've got a bunch of low the ground, again, flying men type cards. All of them are just basically 1/1s that are evasive for a single mana. Maybe some cost 2, maybe some have some effects essentially. But now all of them are 6/4s that are also still evasive. They're coming through, and that can help end the game. And of course, if you want to go really crazy, I mean, extra turns as well if that's okay with your playgroup. This is an insanely super simple, super straightforward commander. Get a bunch of evasive low-to-the-ground creatures out, swing, draw an insane amount of cards, utilize some pump effects, and dominate your opponents with this amazingly super simple, super effective commander. Ovika Enigma Goliath has a good amount of text on it, but believe me, it is a super simple commander that can absolutely dominate. A 6/6 flying Phyrexian Nightmare for 7 mana in Izzet. It's got Ward 3. Oh, and also pay 3 life, so it is protected decently well. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you make X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens or X the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn. So basically, cast non-creature spells, make a lot of hasty little goblins. Phyrexian goblins. Lovely. But yeah, being able to just keep making more and more and more, I mean, you literally can just build this deck where it's like, okay, I'm focusing on, like, basically 2 things. Playing mana ramp to get, out more and more and more things more quickly. Again, get my commander out super quickly. The Gilded Lotus artifact for 5, tap at 3 mana of 1 color. And then every single time I cast a spell like this, I keep making more and more and more tokens. I get more and more and more mana. And then also utilize, well, some card advantage as well. Harmonized Crescendo, instant for 6 mana, but you can convoke it out. Choose a creature type. Phyrexian, is probably what you would choose because your commander's Phyrexian, so are your goblins. There you go. Draw a card for each permanent you control of that type, drawing an insane amount, allowing your creatures to tap for this as well, creating even more. yeah, you basically just keep drawing and then also playing more rocks and then drawing and playing more rocks. You just keep getting more and more mana, putting more and more things into play, swinging. Oh, and you can also maybe pump them too, like Shared Animosity, another non-creature spell. Enchantment for 3 mana. Whenever creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature shares a creature type with it. Again, all your Phyrexians, all your goblins pumping each other. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things that you can do with this commander, but again, literally just going, okay, non-creature spell focus. Great, okay, do that. Super simple. Focus on mana rocks, focus on card draw, and focus on pumping. And there you go. You will dominate your opponents in absolutely no time with a build like this. It is such a super simple, super fun commander. Out of nowhere. Pick it up. Build around it. Omnath, Locus of Mana. Green mana, get bigger. That's basically what this commander is. A 1/1 elemental for 3 mana in green. You don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. Omnath gets +1 for each unspent green mana you have. This is a commander that basically says, hey, you know what we're going to be doing? Getting green mana into our mana pool, saving it up and utilizing it as power and utilizing it as I need to. This is a mana bank for you that also just gets more and more powerful as a Voltron-style commander, too. A very simple, very straightforward commander that says, hey, yeah, let's just use mana. I mean, Wilderness Reclamation, an enchantment that is absolutely incredible. 4 mana, give your end step, untap all lands you control. Again, what's good with this commander? Utilizing your lands. So tap all your lands, make a bunch of green mana, save it in your pool, untap your lands, do it again. Maybe get even more mana. Mana Reflection. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces twice of that much mana instead. Double up all your mana every single turn. It's absolutely incredible to do this. And of course, utilize your commander. The card like Whispersoul Cloak. Equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. Equipping a creature with this, make sure that, your commander cannot be targeted by anything, and also now it's unblockable. It's super easy to make your commander into a one-shot KO with this kind of a build. Again, very simple, very straightforward, very dominant. It's called save up mana with this commander, utilize it as you need to, sure, but also utilize it for power, and just keep getting more and more and more ways to get more and more mana into your pool and dominate your opponents with this amazingly simple commander. Again, like Omnath is kind of ironic because, right, it started off as a super simple green commander, started gaining more and more colors, right, as it went, and then all of a sudden became, well, keyword soup. I mean, well, more like text soup essentially on the card too. But this one is super simple, super fun. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Mr. Orfeo the Boulder, one of my favorite commanders of all time. I absolutely love this one. And again, an unassuming commander at uncommon. A 2/4 Rhino Warrior for 4 mana in Jund. Whenever you attack, double target creature's power until end of turn. Super simple effect. Again, literally very simple text, but it has so many implications on what you can do with it. But it is still a super simple build. It goes, okay, you know what we're going to be doing? Getting a lot of power out there. And then, chucking them at an opponent. Hotline Fling is what I like to call my deck. Make sure you check that episode out. But yeah, utilize cards like Dagmoth Titan. In 11/10. That's right, 11/10 demon for just 4 mana. Absolutely massive. When it attacks or blocks, sacrifice creature. Oh no! Okay, well, here's the thing. You don't have to attack or block with it. You really don't have to. You can have another creature attack, essentially. And with that other creature, you can still double up any creature's power. So if we double this one up, it goes to 22, which is an insane amount. And of course, if we double that up again, we have other doublers too. It goes to, 44? So yeah, we've got ways to very easily turn these things into a one-shot on anyone, even at full health. And of course, we can fling them. Again, the namesake of the deck, Hotline Fling, is the fling card. There's a lot of variations of this, though. Instant for 2 mana in red. Sacrifice a creature, deals damage. You only sacrifice creature's power to any target, including your opponent's faces. Yeah, there are plenty of times where you end up swinging at one player, taking them out with an insanely large creature, and then flinging that creature after combat at another player, and then 2 players are just gone after one combat, and the third player's just sitting there like, and then they're next on the next turn. Yeah, Wilderness Elemental, other janky, weird cards like this are insanely good. A star 3 Elemental with Trample for 3 mana in Gruul. Power is equal to the number of non-basic lands your opponents control. I mean, this thing very easily can come out, as a 15/3 for just 3 mana that you then double up to 30 power, and you got other ways to get even more power as well. I love Mr. Orfeo the Boulder. It is one of my favorite decks of all time, but it is so simple. So straightforward. It's called, get powerful creatures on the board, double up their power. Okay, cool. Take advantage of that power in a multitude of ways and dominate your opponents. That's all you need to do. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Ruric, Thar, the Unbound. Super simple, super straightforward, and super deadly. A 6/6 Ogre Warrior with Vigilance and Rage for 6 mana. In Gruul, attacks each combat of Fable. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, 6 damage to that player. I mean, the name of the game is, hey opponents, don't cast non-creature spells, because if you do, you're gonna get punished a ton by this. And of course, we can build around this. We can make it so that we are building a super simple build, which is like, you know what? We focus on creatures. We have all the creatures in the world. I mean, Somber Walled Sage, a great one. A 0/1 human druid for 3 mana and green. Tap at 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool, only to cast creature spells. Yeah, I mean, that's all we're going to be doing is casting them. So this is a great way to get things out very, very quickly. Speaking of which, I mean, even more so, some restrictive cards. Again, Nikki of the Old Ways, a 5/5 Centaur Druid for 5 mana in Gruul. Oh no, I can't cast non-creature spells. Wasn't planning on it. By the way, tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type of land produced. Basically, double up our mana pool from our lands. So yeah, a lot of ways to get more and more creatures out, do some crazy things. And of course, Ingress Marauders. Cards like this are insane. A 4/4 Human Pirate for 7 mana. If a source you control deal damage to a permanent or player, deals double that damage to that permanent player instead. Now, literally, again, the price of an opponent casting a single opt, essentially. A single opt, a 1 mana card, is 12 damage. 12 damage to the face, because Ruric Thar absolutely hates non-creature spells. So yeah, a commander that can really speed things up, a commander that can absolutely punish opponents, and a commander that can do some really crazy things. Yeah, it is such a fun commander, such a great build. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Marrow-Gnawer is such a gnarly commander, but such a super simple one, an amazing one. A 2/3 Rat Rogue for 5 mana in black. All rats have fear. Yeah, all rats are nearly unblockable. I mean, unblockable against a lot of players out there, unless they have, well, an artifact creature or a black creature. They are out of luck. They cannot block your creatures. Oh, by the way, tap, sacrifice a rat, put X 1/1 black rat creature tokens into player X the number of rats you control. Basically, Cranko-style rats. Absolutely a crazy fun and crazy simple commander. I mean, literally, your entire deck, if you've got the budget for it, or if you proxy it, basically, could just be Rat Colony. You're like, hey, Rat Colony, sure, good for me. I mean, probably include, like, maybe some, like, removal in there. Maybe include, like, some card draw. But still, like, Rat Colony, there you go. 2/1 rat for 2 mana. Rat Colony gets +1/+0 for each other rat you control and own. By the way, a deck you control can have any number of cards named Rat Colony. Yeah, you can just keep chucking these into play, and all of a sudden they become absolutely massive, hitting super hard, all while you're making more and more and more rats. Of course, you can also use cards like, you know, Ogre Slumlord, which can make you even more rats. A 3/3 Ogre Rogue for 5 mana. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may create a 1/1 rat. Oh, and by the way, rats you control have Death Touch. All of a sudden, your rat army is super deadly, and you make a massive rat army based on your opponent's creatures dying too. Harmonics, though, absolutely can speed things up. A 3/3 Phyrexian rat with Toxic 1 that costs 3 mana. Hey, by the way, other rats you control have Toxic 1, meaning that poison is on the menu, everyone. On top of that, ETBs will be top 5 cards in your library. Reveal any number of rat cards from on them, put them into your hand. Rest by your library, random order. Yeah, being able to just get rats off the top is awesome, but yeah, Toxic 1 rats when they are, again, evasive with Marrow-Gnawer, and you can make a giant rat army in absolutely no time. Such a fun commander, such a simple commander. Again, literally could just be a deck full of rat colonies if you really wanted to, or relentless rats. A lot of cool things you can do with this one. Check it out, pick it up, build around it. Okay, a word of caution about this one. Ask your playgroup first if you're allowed to play this deck before actually building it and buying it. I did warn everyone about that when I made the 99 lands episode with Child of Alara. But yes, Child of Alara, super simple, super effective, and especially super straightforward when you play the 99 lands version. A 6/6 Avatar trample for 5 mana in Wooburg. When it dies for all non-land permanents, they can't be regenerated. Basically a massive board wipe, Space Baby. Massive board wipe out of the command zone. Yeah, you can just keep wiping the board again and again and again, and with a 99 lands version of the deck, you are guaranteed to basically get this out when you want to get it out, and then you're always guaranteed to be able to pay that, you know, extra commander tax, essentially, every single time you need to. Maybe waiting one turn, but you're always going to hit your land drops, right, essentially. A card like High Market is, of course, insane with this commander. Tap for colors, tap sacrifice creature, you gain 1 life. Yeah, you're able to just sacrifice your commander whenever you need to actually just destroy the entire board. Also, a card that I absolutely think is overrated in the vast majority of decks out there, you can finally use Temple of the False God. Land that can tap for 2, activate only if you control 5 5 more lands. Again, for the vast majority of decks out there, this is a garbage card in my opinion. I'm sorry if you love it, I'm sorry, but in a 99 lands build, it's amazing because you are guaranteed to hit your land drops, meaning that you're guaranteed to play this when you need to, meaning that this is basically a way to pay for commander tax once. There you go. It is guaranteed 2 mana when you have 5 or more lands. You got that. Crawling Barrens, though, another victory that you can utilize outside of swing with your commander after destroying everything, is making a giant land as well. A creature land. Tap for a colors, pay 4, put 2 counters on this land, then you may have become a 0/0 elemental until I've turned still a land. Basically, just keep building up more and more counters on this. You can swing for a ton of damage at a certain point. There's a lot of ways to win with this one, and maybe it's just your opponent's literally leaving and flipping the table because you keep destroying the board again and again and again and again and again. Again, I warn you, although it is a super simple, super effective commander, it might be too effective, and you need to warn your opponents before you're playing a deck like this, and you need to ask permission ahead of time, so yeah, please ask them before you end up building that deck. But yeah, check out my episode on 99 Lands with Child of Alara. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.